Welcome back to today's episode of What the F is this? This is What the F. It is one of my guns that I kind of want of all time. I haven't bought this one yet. It is a Remington Model 8. There is many like it. This one has a peep sight made out of a penny, which is kind of cool. They came out in many different calibers, a 25, 30, 32, and 35 Remington, all proprietary cartridges because this is right after Remington and Union Metallic merged, so they have all this cool ammo they get to make, so they get to do proprietary cartridges. What's really cool about this, and you can probably tell, is it has a cool AK style deflector, or not deflector, safety. Also works as a dust shield, just like an AK, does everything. You can not cock it back whatsoever, unlike an AK, because it actually holds the bolt tail back. What's cool is, unlike other modern guns, it's going to be long recoil operated. So there's technically, let's not drop this on the floor, 2 barrels. So you have this outside barrel, and then you have an inside barrel. So it is not Jewish. So as you can tell, it's not loaded, by the way. I hope you guys see that it's not loaded. Please don't close on my finger, that's gonna hurt. So when I put my thumb on the barrel here and push back on it, holy shnikes, that's a pain in the ass. And I push back on it, the whole barrel assembly moves. And the reason for that is it's not gas operated. So what happens when the bullet goes down the barrel, it pulls the barrel back because of science, bringing everything to the back of the receiver. And so as it comes back, the whole thing comes back, coming back into here. The barrel sits there with it. I can't push it any farther than the tip. But once it's there, inside of the second barrel, the outside barrel, there's a spring to push the barrel back forward. Let's not take a step forward. To push the barrel back forward. And with that, once the barrel goes back into its correct place, if there is another round, it trips a little lever, sending the bolt back forward to pick up another round, and then there you go. With that, there's a little tiny rat tail coming off of the bolt right through here with a spring to push the bolt forward. What is really cool, and you can see this from seeing Arsenal's diagram cutaway of how it works, it has a cool horseshoe trigger design that Browning really started using. You can see it with this, you can see it with this design. I probably should have took this apart so we could see what the trigger looks like, because this is the exact same thing. This one you can also, I'm just fucking weak apparently, Jesus Christ. The barrel moves back on that one, that's where the gun came from. I'm sure I'll make a video about that eventually, because that is also another one of my favorite guns for crime-related reasons. The Model 8 had a fixed magazine, but the later 81s had a detachable magazine, which is really neat. Another cool thing, it takes stripper clips, 5-round stripper clips of whatever flavor of ammo you could find this gun in. It has a bolt drop, sort of. So when I rack it back, there's a little catch there. It gets lifted up by the magazine, but it counts as a bolt drop. So your high-speed dudes can drop the bolt and then go on their way shooting Bonnie and Clyde with this gun, which the shotgun underneath is also Bonnie and Clyde's gun. Live by the long recoil, die by the long recoil, apparently, even though there's a bar in there. Other things to know about it is the bolt face design. It is very suspiciously similar to a bolt face that you've probably seen before, especially with the plunger and the way the extractor work. We'll do B-roll, and I'm sure we'll take a look at what the bolt face looks like, but you can take a guess, leave your comment of where you've seen the bolt catch before. The reliability of this gun, it's super on the reliable side. It works 60% of the time, works 100% of the time, as the joke goes. There's a lot of springs going on in here, and a big difference between military issued guns and civilian issued guns at the time were ease of taking down. You can kind of easily take apart an M1 Garand pretty easily. You pull the trigger guard out like you would a sub 2000 and your guts come out and you can work on the inside. That's not how civilian guns work. The easiest part of taking this gun apart is, you think this is a sling swivel, but actually, it's actually a f***ing screw. So right here, and then you unscrew it and it just opens the gut up. That is the easiest part of this gun to take apart. Everything else has a bunch of tiny screws. You got 3 screws right here. You got 2 screws here on the bottom. And I thought there was one more screw somewhere else. I guess there's not. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with civilian guns at the time, is there were so many fucking screws. So like for my Auto 5 here, it's a Model 11, don't at me, is just on this side I got 3 screws and then one of them's detaining the other screw. Kind of like with a Gewehr 98 or a Car 98K, is a shit ton of screws. Another downside to it is you have it should be a 2-part spring. You got a medium weight and then a heavier weight back here for recoil. It's technically the buffer spring like you would see at the end of an AR. Does the same thing. A lot of springs, a lot of screws. It's pretty complicated for what the military wanted, but it does do good work when it works. It's just in a combat zone and your shit goes down, you're kind of f***ed. So the reason why this gun didn't, I don't think this gun even saw trials. I believe some French units used this in World War II or World War. I believe some French units used it during World War II. The main reason why is this was the high-end huntsman gun for the fancy motherfuckers that wanted to shoot with this. This is the gun to use. It was marketed as the end-all be-all source, and so since it was so goddamn expensive, no one bought it. And with nobody buying it, the popularity wasn't really there. So when people were talking about guns, this cool International Harvester, I think is the company that originally started making those guns, were getting more traction. Same with the Thompson. The Thompson was another gun that was super popular before it got issued to the US government. So on top of it not being 30-06, which, Jesus Christ, this being in 30-06, well, they did that. The Show Shock, it's kind of the same way too, and it's in 30-06 and 303 Brit, I think. Still a long recoil, open bolt design, uses the same exact trigger that you kind of see in here. I wish I could have that. Maybe when Ian comes in, I can ask him nicely to borrow it, to take it apart and never be able to put it back together again. That's a joke for all legal purposes. That's a big reason. It was too fucking expensive, and it didn't take off because it was so goddamn expensive. That's why it didn't show very much traction in the war. Just a little hot take is, my personal opinion is this gun is far better than the M1 Garand at the time. The only downside to this is it's not firing a 30-06 cartridge, which was part of the requirements from the government. As far as a rifle goes, I think this is a far better and lasting design, except for the long recoil part, versus the M1 Garand, which is just a smushed bolt gun that has a little handle that works the bolt for you. Regardless, this is one of my favorite guns of all time. Remington Model 8, we got 2 of them here at the shop. They're at least $1 in cost. If you want to come check them out, more than happy to pull it off the wall for you. Otherwise, stay beautiful and I love you. Peace.